If you know 3,000 words in English, you can pretty much say anything that you need to say. I'm teaching 3,000 words in 3,000 days. Let's take a look. Imaginary. So this girl here has a friend, but this friend is only in her imagination. It is an imaginary friend. This person here is thinking about a lot of things. None of them are real. Well, monkeys are real. They're real things, but these are happening in his imagination. So imaginary means that it's in your imagination. It's fictitious. It's mythical. It's It's a fantasy. Fantastical. Unreal. Fictitious, not fictional, or fictitious. IOUS. Fictitious. Okay? As a child, she often played with her imaginary friend, sharing secrets and adventures only she could see. So, an imaginary friend is something that is very common for children and is a coping mechanism a lot of times for people. So, it's a fictional or pretend friend. So, imaginary can be one of the words can be pretend. Now, if you pretend in English is imaginary. If you speak Portuguese and maybe some other languages, pretend means we use the word intend for pretender. So be very careful with the word pretend. In English, pretend means it's imaginary. It's not real. The author created an imaginary world filled with magical creatures and hidden kingdoms for her fantasy novel. An imaginary world is a fictional or a creative world. Children who are very imaginative create a lot of imaginary things. He dismissed the rumors as imaginary fears, insisting there was no real danger in the situation. So, in this case, imaginary can mean unfounded or baseless. There's no reason for these to really exist. In the mathematics lecture, the professor explained the concept of imaginary numbers and their role in complex equations. So, that means they are theoretical or abstract numbers. They're not real numbers. And I don't quite understand this because I'm not a math person. Imaginary numbers versus real numbers. So in mathematics, this is a little bit different concept. And if you can explain it to me, I would love it. The vivid description painted an almost imaginary landscape, too surreal to exist in reality. So surreal means extra real, more than real. Imaginary landscape, it's fantastical, it's unreal. So the opposite of imaginary is real or true, actual, or existing. The noun for imaginary is imagination. The verb is imagine. The adjective is imaginary. It can also be imaginative. So imaginary is the friend, the imaginary friend that's not really there. Hello, it's good to see you. Yeah, I know. I had such a good time too. I'm talking to my imaginary friend. Just a minute. What did you think about that other thing? Yeah? Okay. So that's my imaginary friend. I have an imaginary friend because I am an imaginative person. A person is who has a big imagination is very imaginative. Imaginarily would be the adverb, but I have never heard that word. Imaginarily. I would say no adverb here. It's imaginarily is not a word that we would use. I really hope that you enjoyed this word. I want you to use it at least 5 times today. Like and subscribe, and please send me your questions and comments. I look at those, and if you have any questions about English, please ask. I will answer it in the comments. I might even make a video about it. So I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.